Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's nice to have you here.
Absolutely. So my name is AJ Miller. I'm from the USA, from New Jersey. And I've been in Vietnam for about a year and 4 months. I'm a fitness trainer in THảso I work with girls with guns, which is not guns, boom, 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 it's guns.
Ah.
So, and the reason I came here is because my dad was a Vietnam War veteran, and when he died of leukemia, we got his memoirs, and I couldn't read them, so I moved to Vietnam. And so I do some live readings of his memoirs so that his friends and family, my friends and family can learn a little about this place.
Oh, that's lovely.
How is your life in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City?
My life is amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I got a decent paying job. Moving to Vietnam is like create you into a different person. A little bit, not a different person, but a different version of yourself. Like I started stand-up comedy recently.
Voila.
I have an art studio that I'm working with, or it's my art studio. I'm not working with anybody, but you know, just exploring the things I want to explore. So I run like a group boot camp for women.
Women with guns. What?
Girls with guns.
Girls with guns.
Yes, girls with guns.
Do you consider
there
me
you
having
go.
guns?
Oh, nice. I see that. No makeup there.
Let me see your guns.
It looks like you came to the gun show up here and the come out show. That's awesome.
Before you moved to Vietnam, you said it was a memoir that made you move here. Was it difficult to make the decision to move to Vietnam, or were you like, hell yes, let me move right now?
It wasn't a hell yes either. I needed to leave the country. I had just spent 3 years taking care of my family through leukemia, my father's leukemia, and then he died. And then another year and a half, you know, so it was a total of 3 years of really just intensive, emotional, and I was drained, and I was very depressed. So then when I got his memoirs, I already knew I wanted to leave the country, didn't know where I wanted to go. And I started reading about all these things that he had seen, he had done. It was just like, well, I've just learned a whole ton about Vietnam through my dad. And so literally when I landed on the plane, I still thought it was a war zone because that's all he could remember. And so my father had asked me, would you come back to Vietnam with me when I get better? Well, he didn't get better. So I came anyway. The second I landed, like I went from being sad and depressed to, okay, this is amazing. I have no idea what this is. I came into Hanoi, and then I just started, you know, volunteer teaching, which did not work for me. I didn't enjoy that.
Very busy.
Oy.
And be a happy teacher, and be nice to all the students. And hey, please do your homework. I asked you many times to do this. Listen to the teacher. Please don't talk when the teacher is talking.
It was far more simple. I don't really like kids that much. So I asked to teach older kids, and I was teaching toddlers, and I was like, I'm out. So I bought a motorcycle and I headed south.
Can you tell us more about the way that you follow your dad's story in Vietnam?
He was stationed in Pleiku.
Oh, Pleiku.
So I've been to Pleiku twice. I brought some of his ashes with me, and I meant to spread his ashes in Pleiku, but I wasn't ready to let go of his ashes. So I've also read his stories out loud online so that people can interact with. It's been amazing. When I was up north, I'm gonna try not to cry when I tell this story. I was at a coffee shop and I was wearing my father's dog tag, but I was in the north. You know, the north is different than the south as far as the emotional connection with Americans. And I was in this coffee shop and there was this old man in there, probably 70 something, around the age of my father. And he looks at the dog tag and he's like, you know, where's your dad? And I was like, he died of leukemia. And this is all through Google Translate, right? So it's like, in the simplest format I can possibly, I was like, so my dad fought here. He was a helicopter pilot stationed in Pleiku. And he was like, I fought in the war. And I was like, I said, well, he died and he asked me to come here. And the way this man looked into my eyes, like through me to my dad and just reached out his hand and shook my hand. It was amazing. He said, "You're a good daughter."
It's so nice to feel the emotion that comes through you, because it's really
real.
It's real.
It's so real.
And like
it's strong, so strong.
Very strong woman.
I don't get it, but I don't question. It was a great decision. I love being here. I'm a fitness instructor, but fitness is like the gateway drug to healing, to wellness, to
mental health
and PTSD.
So after the Hanoi trip, you came back down south, right? And how was your journey down south?
Terrifying. I literally bought a piece of shit motorcycle for $150. The thing was falling apart and the brakes weren't working. I was very surprised I was alive at the end of the day. So yeah, I was scared, but it's not like you have a mantra of fear. You have a mantra of, I got this.
So, get back to your childhood. Did you see yourself that different from the other girls?
Did I see myself as different from the other girls? So my parents were very good at not being like male, female. There just wasn't a big conversation in my head. I mean, yeah, I was like, I'm on the girls' cross-country team, but I was slow. I just did things differently. I couldn't communicate well with young people. I was a little bit more about hanging out with adults or older people. I was the weird one in class, you know, the one last picked for the team. I was actually that kid. It's like I just knew that a lot of shit was like the things that little kids say to each other. You know, like I have a gap between my teeth. And in America, you're supposed to get braces. Now, I did get braces, but up until that point, which didn't work, by the way. But like, you know, I got made fun of, you know, the gap between your teeth is so big, my mama could drive a pickup truck through there. I just knew it was okay. It was gonna be okay. So I never beat myself up for not being like everyone else. I mean, once in a while, I'd come home and be like, Mom, it's not fair. And my mom would always be like, honey, life ain't fair. Get used to it. You know, she's just like...
Tough love, right?
Yeah. I mean, my parents were very like, I mean, this is the world you live in. It's gonna be okay.
Oh, and like, did you have like any love relationships when you were in school?
I mean, I might have in 5th grade or 4th grade. I think I dated a guy named Steve Rake, you know, and
Steve Rake.
Steve Rake. I know, right? And it's so funny. I just met him again a couple of years ago, and I was like, didn't we like go out in 3rd grade? And he was, and I can't remember what it was. He was like, no, it was 5th grade, and I was like, what? That was, you know, one of those. On the phone, oh, I'm gonna go date somebody else now. I was like, okay, see you at school tomorrow, you know. But I never actually dated anybody till after high school. The summer after high school,
Whoa.
I ran into a childhood friend. Her name was Alexis. So my first relationship was with a woman, really. She went to college at Rutgers, and I didn't go to school because I was working. I was a construction. I mean, it's so bad. It's so cliche. It's ridiculous. It's like, you know, I'd go work in the dirt all day, and she's like, she's beautiful, you know. And I really loved how she would rub my hair with her long nails. That's what I really loved. We're still friends. She's now married to a man, has a baby boy, young boy and stuff.
Okay.
Like that. I was at her wedding.
So you got your attraction, both men and
women.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm what I call a people person. I like people. Like I've lived in Vietnam. I've dated a beautiful French woman named Aurelia, and then
can you say her name again?
Aurelia.
Wow.
Aurelia.
And then,
Can you say that?
Aurelia.
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 Yes.
Ooh, I like that name.
Very pretty, and you know, she's a beautiful woman. And then before I came here, I dated my first woman since high school. So in between high school and 40 years old, I was only with men. And you know, and I was brought up in a very like, hey, what do you want to do with your life? That's on you. We're here to help. We're here to love. We're here to guide. But we're not. You know, my parents did nothing of boxing me into anything. Which is probably why I have no money, but that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm successful everywhere else. I just, thank you, Mom and Dad. Shout out to Mom and Dad. Good job.
But it's mad when you don't have money.
Right before my dad got sick, I was starting to get financially successful. I was running boot camps in Golden, Colorado, and right when I was about to go corporate, right when I was about to like start making the big bucks, I get the phone call from my brother. He's like, you know what's going on with Papa? And I'm like, no, what do you mean? He's got cancer, and they said like 7 months. And I was like, what? And I was like, well, I gotta come home. So I quit my job, drove across country with my two best friends in the car. We had a huge party when I got there. My dad plays bass. Whenever I come home, we would put the band together. And then we would go to the open mics and we would just jam. We would just like play a lot of music.
I'm sure music is such a healing thing for the soul, right?